I am going to invite our next author to the stage. Marie Celine Matter has human teeth and human fingernails just like you. She currently works as a cryptozoologist in Centralia, Pennsylvania, where she was born and raised. While she's been writing fiction her whole life, Taken for a Ride is the first story she's ever published. She already has many more ideas in the works, though, with intent to establish herself as a cosmic and sci fi horror writer. She thanks you for tuning in today and hopes you enjoy. So, Marie, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining today. I'm super excited about this. So I have a little context I want to read first and foremost. So this story follows Claire Templeton, the character secretly carrying the revolver and the trophy wife of Shady Entertainment CEO Marcus Templeton. Up to this point, they've been touring the abandoned grounds of the theme park Dreamscape to see if it's a worthwhile investment to renovate. With them are executive assistant Jack, PR director Janet, the cruel CFO Susan, the cruel CFO Susan, her silent husband Stuart, and their troubled teenage daughter Audrey. As the tour has gone on, two things have become clear. Renovations by Marcus's company Radiant Realms have always been cheap and fatally dangerous, and something is increasingly off about their tour guide, Caitlin. At the end of the tour, Susan humiliates herself by tripping and falling. She punishes the meek Stuart for laughing at her by punching their daughter Audrey in the eye. Claire is held back from intervening by Marcus. With no one else in the group willing to address what has just happened, the deal for the park is in its final stages. So I will be reading from the very end, or toward the very end of part 1 of 3. Excuse me. So, are you ready to sign? Caitlin asked. Marcus hesitated, putting a hand to his round chin. I'm going to take a walk and clear my head. I'll have an answer for you once I get back. The trio disbanded. Marcus headed down a side road of Whimsy Dream Square, following a path through a cluster of trees. Claire hesitated, shifted her purse on her shoulder, then quietly began to follow him. Excuse me. She tailed Marcus up a gentle hill through the trees, hanging back to avoid making a sound. Her sheath dress prevented her from crouching stealthily, but she was still keeping up with him. Her heart began to beat faster. She felt the jostling weight of the revolver heavy on her shoulder. This was the best chance she would get. They emerged on a hill of dead grass and tangled weeds, able to see all of the Garden of Potential from that view. It was the only place she'd seen in the park with no televisions or cameras. Marcus would call the rotten decay before them an opportunity. Right now, Claire just saw a desiccated, eviscerated corpse that he kept insisting was still alive. Uh, Marcus paused at the peak of the hill. Claire inched the zipper of her purse open, adrenaline coursing through her as her fingers brushed the cold steel of the gun inside. She slowly pulled the gun into view, holding it out in front of her, toward Marcus. Handle first. Claire took a shaky breath, steadied herself, and called, Marcus? Marcus turned around and looked with surprise at the revolver Claire was offering him. She extended the handle to him, pointing the barrel at herself in the process. What the? Don't hold it like that, Marcus chastised her, moving forward and snatching the gun out of her hands. Jesus, Claire, what is this? A gift, Claire stammered. It's a gun for your collection. I know you said you like pieces with history, so Marcus held the firearm up for inspection. It was a silver-framed, six-chambered Smith & Wesson with a splintered wood handle held together on the right side by pink tape. Most perplexingly of all, the words "For Haley" had been carved into the left side of the handle. Where did you find this? Marcus asked. Yesterday, when I was on a walk in the rain around the Airbnb's neighborhood, Claire said. She began to wring her fingers together. It was in a housing development of all places. The rain came back out of nowhere, and I ducked into one of the unfinished condos to wait it out. Of course, it wasn't much better inside with all the mud, but it must have been serendipity since I found this. You're giving me a random gun that you found in a housing development as a gift, Marcus asked. You know I collect antiques, right? You said you collect things with a story, Claire said, somewhat defensively. Remember? And when I found this revolver, all I could think was, who's Haley? How did the handle get cracked? Who taped it up? I thought maybe we could try to figure it out together or come up with our own story of how it got there. Marcus held the revolver by the thumb and forefinger. Claire, I have a genuine Civil War musket. I have the rifle that killed one of the last white rhinos. That is history. This is junk. I'm surprised it's not an evidence lockup. Claire felt a sickly bolt of adrenaline seize her guts. She was losing him. Time to go for broke. I'm sorry. I just wanted to do something nice because I feel like you've been distant lately. I know you've been busy with work, but I miss you. I miss us. I was hoping we could talk about it. It's really been affecting me. Is that okay? Marcus smiled at her sadly. I don't know why I expected any different. What do you mean? It is just like you to turn this around when that's exactly what you've been doing to me. It's a phenomenon called projection. Do you know what that word means? It's a form of gaslighting. It's abuse, Claire. You've hardly looked at me, let alone touched me for 3 months, but I'm abandoning you? He gestured to the gun. And even if I was being distant, this is what you would get to win me back? But I, abuse? Oh God, have I been ignoring you? Claire asked, her stomach prickling. I just meant, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was hurting you that way. I would never want to do that to you. Marcus's face didn't change, so she added, and I'm sorry for the Epcot thing. That was stupid. And I'm sorry for trying to confront Susan about Audrey. I know it's really important that you guys have a good relationship. What do you mean by that? Marcus asked shrewdly. I just mean I understand that it's important that you and Susan stay on good terms, even in light of what happened. You're bringing that up again? Marcus demanded scornfully. Claire, it was one time, just one time since we put the previous times behind us. Just once. It was 3 fucking months ago. It's in the past. Stuart forgave Susan. You're the only one who still has a problem with it. That's not what I was talking about, Claire said feebly. She felt tears well in her eyes. I'm sorry. I was talking about what just happened with Audrey, not. I don't understand. I'm just trying to give you a gift. I don't want to start a fight. Marcus shoved the revolver back into Claire's hands. I'm trying, Claire. I really am. But things like this aren't making it any easier. You tell me I'm abandoning you as you abandon me, then you beat me over the head with my mistakes as you give me this crap? Is this all that my is this all that my collection is worth to you? It's like you don't know me at all. I'm sorry, Claire said softly. Marcus stormed away back toward the main square. Wait, babe, please, Claire called after him. Come back. I'm sorry. Marcus disappeared out of sight. Claire slumped onto a rusted park bench. What just happened? She muttered, tucking the gun back into her purse. You tried to call him out on his behavior, so he turned it on you instead of owning up, said a young voice emerging out of the bushes behind her. Audrey appeared with a couple of twigs and leaves nestled in her golden hair. Her eye socket was bright red. It's a phenomenon called projection. It's a form of gaslighting. It's abuse. Oh, hey, Claire said. What were you doing back there, kiddo? Saw a baby rabbit. Wanted to keep it. Ah, I guess that would have been a hair-raising experience. Claire stared at the girl, perplexed. Why do you let him talk to you like that? Audrey sat on the bench beside Claire. Claire hesitated. Like what? She finally replied. You don't know. He's probably right. I probably have been neglecting him. I mean, who would just throw the word abuse around like that if there wasn't a good reason? You just tried to tell him he's neglecting you, Audrey pointed out. Maybe he's neglecting me because I'm neglecting him, Claire offered. Jesus, you're cooked, Audrey scoffed. But you know, you're still lucky. I can read all the psychology books I want, but I'm stuck with Susan for the next couple years. But you can leave Marcus whenever you want. It's not that simple, Claire said quietly. And I don't want to leave him. I love him. I was nothing before him. Audrey squinted. You were a waiter, right? Some bougie restaurant, getting through school? Claire nodded. Community college, yeah. That's not nothing. Claire shrugged and shook her head, but didn't argue further. Her eyes were drawn inevitably to Audrey's developing bruise. Are you okay? She asked. The question felt larger than what the words conveyed. I've never seen anything like that before. Susan was. So your husband doinked my mom? Audrey interrupted. Claire sighed. I'm not going to talk about that with you. I'm sorry you overheard that. I knew it. That's why she's so warm and friendly with Marcus. Audrey chuckled. That's hilarious. Is it? Claire said testily. Everything Susan does is hilarious. Audrey flashed Claire an uncanny smile, amplified by her bloody sclera. It has to be. She began to walk back toward the square, kicking her legs out in front of her as she moved as though traversing an invisible balance beam. Claire sighed deeply, mustered up her best public-facing smile, and followed. They returned to see Caitlin standing with Marcus and Susan, holding a clipboard with the Dreamscape logo on it. What's the latest? Are we doing it? Claire asked, craning her head next to see the papers. We're doing it, Marcus smiled, raising a fist in victory. I've got the papers right here, Caitlin said, handing them off to Marcus. They're identical to the ones your lawyer approved. Once you sign here, Radiant Realms will be the official owner of Dreamscape. Marcus took the clipboard, pulling a pen from his pocket. I feel really good about this one, Caitlin, he said grandly. We'll get this place up and running in no time. With a dramatic flourish, he signed Marcus Templeton at the bottom of the sheet. Caitlin's strained smile dropped at last as she took the clipboard back, revealing the expression of pure contempt that had always been just underneath. You really don't remember me, do you? She asked coldly. What? Marcus uttered. Caitlin tapped her Bluetooth earpiece twice and said in a shaky, low voice, "Yeah, they signed. Do it." Before anyone had time to speak, an ear shattering boom tore through the park. And that's what I have.